First stop up to Let's Lake, and the Let's Lake campground that I'm going to show you. We have Valley Campground. Mill Valley is a lot smaller than Let's Lake Campground. It supports 15 sites. They have one vaulted toilet. It's big enough for a 24-foot trailer. It's only $10 a night. If you have a U.S. Forest Service senior discount, it would be $5 a night. It's a first come, first served basis. I really like it up here. This campground, I found it for the first time last year. I was up here scouting for deer hunting season, and I got in here and I just loved it. We came up here a couple times during the hunting season and seen one buck. We got into some deer though. And with this area, a lot of it, there's some OHV trails up here, but you can hike right out of camp as well. And we were hunting just on the other side, up the top of the canyon and over. And you can follow these drainages up too, and there's a lot of small game hunting back in here. But if you're not a hunter and you're not into OHV, off highway vehicles, it's a beautiful campground, and I really like it. So why don't we walk around, take a look. So basically what this road does is it just goes into a circle. And it comes all the way around like this. Every site has a table and a fire pit. I did want to show you this. This spigot right here, this tap, this is spring water. They have it shut off right now. They shut it off during the winter time, but in the spring and summer, this is open. It's spring water, and I'm telling you, it's tasty. I've drank it before, and this is really good. It's hard to find campsites, especially up in the mountains like we are, that have water that you could drink, but this campsite does. I don't think Let's Lake, their campground, I don't believe there's any, so you're gonna have to bring your own water. And I suggest bringing some water here too. But like I say, I want to point this out by campsite number 8. This is good for spring water and it's good to drink. One of the things I really liked about this campsite is that actually you could take off hunting right out of it. We're just surrounded for miles with U.S. Forest Service land, and it's huntable. If you have a 4-wheel with your gun rack, you could just take off right out of camp. There's a couple trails that leave where you could take off on a hike. I've hiked all around through here scouting for deer, and during the hunting season, we didn't see any deer in the immediate camp area, but once we got up and over the ridge, we started getting into them. It's just a beautiful site. I really like it. I do plan on coming up here, probably for A-zone archery. But if you've never been here before, I highly suggest you come up here and check it out. So we're gonna head on up the road, and we're gonna go ahead and check out Let's Lake Campground. So 1 mile up the mountain from Mill Valley Campground and 17 miles out of Stony Ford, we have Let's Lake Campground. Let's Lake Campground has 42 sites with 10 vaulted toilets. It's good for tent camping. You could bring up to a 24-foot trailer in here. It's $10 a night on a first come, first served basis. The way it's set up is you have one main loop with all the sites, and then you have 4 loops that go in and out of the main loop. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drive on over to Let's Lake. There's a little dock over here, and I'm gonna do a little bit of trout fishing, see if they're biting. Also, I'll show you some of the campsites. So let's go check that out. So driving in here, what's going on is in the wintertime, they have all the campgrounds that are on the other side of the lake shut down. They only have this one site that has 15 campgrounds and one portable toilet open for the winter. This is Let's Lake. There's a 1 mile trail that goes all the way around it. It's non-motorized. You could launch a kayak in here. And there's also a little pier over here for fishing, or you could just go ahead and hike the trail all the way around. There's a guy hiking the trail right now. He gave me the information that Fish and Game hasn't been stocking this lake, but he doesn't fish it himself. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my fishing pole, because I always gotta see for myself, and I'm gonna walk over here to this little dock, and I'm gonna cast a line, and we're gonna see if those trout are biting or not. See if there's anything in here. So let's go check that out. Well, I've been fishing for a couple hours and no bites. I don't imagine that there's any fish in here this time of the year. I believe that this is pretty much going to be good trout fishing when DFG, the Department of Fish and Game, come and stock it. They probably ended up stocking it in the spring. If you look up the Department of Fish and Game stocking report, you can go ahead and find out that information. So to recap it, like I said, in the wintertime here at Let's Lake, they only have about 15 campsites open. The other campsites on the more western edge of the campgrounds, they close for the wintertime. I'm up here on a Friday, and there's nobody up here except for the guy that was taking a hike. There's nobody camping here at Let's Lake or at the Mill Valley Campground. So I'd imagine that's why they don't have the campground open. Also, in the winter, if there's a heavy snow, I think you're going to have some difficulty getting up here. So you're going to want to check the weather reports and the road conditions. Well, hey, you two friends, that was Mill Valley Campground and Let's Lake Campground up in Mendocino National Forest, about 17 miles west of Stonyford. I just wanted to clarify that in both campgrounds, there's no electrical. And also, even though both campgrounds have spring water taps, I would bring your own water just in case those taps are down. Also, if you go up there in the wintertime, they close that road when the snow gets deep. So I would check for the weather conditions. I would check for road closures or anything like that. In the description box, I'm going to provide links to the Let's Lake Campground and the Mill Valley Campground, also a link to Mendocino National Forest and the U.S. Forest Service website. I'll have links for all of that. And plus, I'll have them referenced in both Google Maps and Google Earth. So if you like this content, please hit the like button and subscribe to the page. And we'll see you next time on California Public Land Hunter. See ya.